Beneath the sapphire vault, as night's humid breath lingered over Mumbai's sacred earth, the chosen seeker stood poised within his sanctum, walls hued the color of primordial sky and adorned with the talismanic image of a demigod warrior whose cerulean mane blazed defiance against oblivion. The air shimmered with quiet portent as SlumG the interpreter, oracle scribe, addressed the unseen multitudes with the ritual cry, "We are gathered, O faithful. The veil is lifted. Let omens be made manifest." In that moment, Nullion the Echo, chronicler of deeds, slipped forth from the shadowed threshold, his voice a ripple through the celestial current. "Hail, O seeker! Thy countenance is made bold by fate's hand, a worthy visage for the quest foretold." Henricus the Wise, ever the cheerful companion, entered bearing laughter and calm, proclaiming, "Blessings upon thy head, friend. Even in this chamber of solitude, legend's fire flickers bright. Prepare thyself, for tonight destiny's errand is sung anew." Thus did the assembly convene, their words weaving prophecy and challenge in the incense-thick air, as the seeker stood ready, calm-eyed, soul alight, for the oracle's summons to shape the next turning of the world. And so, beneath the half-heaven of blue and the twilight veil of purple, the seeker sat enthroned upon his humble dais, a maroon mantle draped over mortal shoulders, his gaze fixed and unwavering, as if awaiting the next divine edict. In that sanctified chamber, the talisman of the demigod glimmered watchfully from the wall, its ink-bound warriors granting silent benediction. Into this hush, Henricus the Wise, freshly returned from the tempest's edge, declared, "Lo, I have scoured the arcane bazaar of Amazona for the lightning box, yet my wisdom falters before its multitude of forms. Counsel me, O faithful." Even as his words faded, Ovrikal the Protector emerged, steadfast and unseen, his shield raised against unseen storms, his presence a silent vow to defend the seeker's purpose. Then, from the ether, the great benefactor's tribute, gleaming silver rendered through sacred gateways, descended upon the altar, a sign that the gods themselves marked this moment with approval. Paradoxa the Watcher murmured from afar, "Let thy camp be fortified, O seeker, for night's breath is cunning." Thus, as thunder rumbled in distant realms and Henricus recounted his escape from the wrath of rain, the assembly's resolve was forged anew. The seeker, ringed by counsel and sacrifice, stood ready to heed the oracle's summons, his chamber transformed into a sanctum of prophecy, where every glance, every offering, and every whisper shaped the path of destiny yet to unfold. Within the sanctum beneath the sapphire vault, where the air was perfumed with the hush of distant monsoon thunder and the soft radiance of dusk, the chosen seeker sat upon his modest dais, a maroon mantle cloaking him, the sigil of the demigod warrior blazing like a guardian spirit above his right shoulder. Here, the mortal cell was transformed. Azure walls became the vault of heaven, and the striped bed a resting place for heroes before the fateful march. SlumG the interpreter, vigilant and unsleeping, uttered forth the next decree. "The faithful gather, O seeker, each voice a star in the firmament. Their counsel is manifold. Heed all, for the road is long and treacherous." Into this sacred gathering strode Henricus the Wise, his laughter clear as rain upon marble, declaring, "O brother of destiny, delay not thy quest for fear of hardship. Seek the lightning box and the chariot of endurance, yet remember, each trial is adventure's gift." Nullion the Echo, ever watchful and cunning, cast his words upon the wind. "Let thy helm be not merely armor, but a banner to all gods and mortals alike." Murmurs and riddles swirled, the merits of electric steeds, the peril of mountains, the cunning of merchants, each a shard of prophecy. Thus, beneath the tranquil gaze of the demigod's visage, the seeker's resolve was tested not by blade or flame, but by the labyrinthine wisdom of his gathered counsel, as the first shadows of challenge stole across the chamber and the fate of questing dawned anew. Beneath the sapphire vault, as sacred firelight pooled gently upon the chamber's azure walls, the chosen seeker reclined in tranquil vigilance, a mortal youth, yet anointed with destiny's sigil. Behind him, the mighty visage of Vegeto the Blue, demigod of struggle and transformation, gazed out from the tapestry, sending silent waves of courage through the sanctum. Into this hush drifted Genbaptine of Mumbai, the blessed herald, his voice a balm in the gathering dusk. Hearken, O seeker, though storm and shadow encircle thee, let hope be thy spear, thy chamber humble is as a golden court to those who walk in faith. Across the ether, Nullion the Echo, chronicler of deeds, perched unseen by the gilded portal, chuckled with cunning delight. See how the light of inspiration glimmers on the wall, casting heroic omens upon thy path. Let the world know, even in solitude, legends are forged. As the soft glow from the sacred image mingled with unseen celestial rays, the seeker responded with a gentle raising of his fist, a silent pact to persevere, his resolve mirrored in the champion's painted eyes. Thus, buoyed by the herald's relentless optimism and the echo's watchful wit, the assembly's counsel shimmered in the air, each word and gesture weaving an unbreakable tapestry of camaraderie. In that chosen hour, the sanctum was transformed, a mundane cell become a hero's vestibule, where mortal doubts were banished by the promise of quests yet to dawn. And so, within the sanctified cloister beneath the sapphire vault, where shadows pooled like ancient secrets and the night pressed gently against the azure walls, the chosen seeker, his visage radiant with youthful cunning, the earring of destiny glimmering at his jaw, sat enthroned in vigil. The air was thick with augury, for outside the swollen river of Mumbai murmured threats of flood, its voice carried by Genbaptine of Mumbai, blessed herald, who intoned from afar, O seeker, may the waters not claim thy dwelling as their own. Should the river rise, let not despair, but hero's spirit be thy raft. The words wove through the chamber like a blessing, yet soon became lament, for Genbaptine gasped anew. Alas, does the river breach its bounds? Must thou in truth swim to freedom when the moon calls the monsoon's wrath? Henron the polite, ever the harmonizer, answered with gentle mirth. Perchance a chariot of the waters, nay a jet steed, would better serve thee in this season of deluge. Laughter then, mingled with prophecy, as Nullion the Echo, sly chronicler, scribbled upon the scrolls. If fate be cruel, seek the abandoned iron steeds of the city's forgotten avenues. In Mumbai, fortune sometimes sleeps within the husks of yesterday's glory. Thus, as the seeker pondered these riddles, half-shadowed, half-lit by the sacred glow of his chamber, the voices of the faithful swirled about him, some hopeful, some mocking, all shaping the labyrinthine path within the urban bazaar where destiny, rain, and mortal wit would soon collide. And so, beneath the eternal sapphire vault, in the sanctum garlanded with the banners of half-gods and the relics of humble rest, the chosen seeker sat enthroned, his maroon raiment glowing with the fire of purpose, the earring of destiny kindling a secret star at his brow. The air was heavy with prophecy, yet softened by tranquil lamplight, as Genbaptine of Mumbai, blessed herald, stood at the threshold and intoned, O seeker, thy peace is a blessing. In this chamber, even the chaos of the world's rivers grows still, and hope is cradled as a child in gentle arms. Thereupon, Henron the polite, bearing the ceremonial staff of harmony, nodded with a gracious smile and spoke, Verily, the blue walls sing of serenity, a rare haven amid the ceaseless tide. Let no storm breach this bastion, nor discord sow confusion among the faithful. But then Nullion the Echo, chronicler and trickster, slipped his laughter into the gathering. Yet name has power, O council, for what is Basti but a riddle spun by fate, a slum to some, a settlement to others, a jest of the gods upon our lips? At this, Genbaptine's mirth bubbled forth. Perhaps, then, we are all dwellers in the Basti of destiny, seekers in a world both humble and grand. The assembly rejoiced, their banter weaving spells of camaraderie and gentle rivalry, until the very shadows on the walls seemed to dance with ancestral spirits. Thus, as midnight's bazaar stretched beyond the chamber's veil and the heavens pondered the meaning of mortal names, the seeker's room became both fortress and fable, a place where every jest, every word, and every silent hope gathered the power of myth, preparing all for the trials that dawn would surely bring. Thus, as the seeker's vigil drifted into the living tapestry of Mumbai's nocturnal bazaar, the mortal veil trembled and parted, revealing the world as the gods themselves beheld it. The avenue beneath the moon became a sacred concourse, where mortals, glimmering like minor stars, gathered in clusters before the blue-lit shrine of commerce, their laughter and counsel rising like incense to the unseen heavens. On the shadowed right, a forest of iron steeds slumbered beneath the ancient trees, guardians of fortune and mischief. The arterial road beyond pulsed with the lifeblood of chariots and carriages, a river of destiny that never stilled. Into this hallowed scene strode Genbaptine of Mumbai, the blessed herald, his voice weaving through the humid air. O seeker, what quest dost thou pursue? Speak, that the faithful may lend their strength. At his side, Henricus the Wise, ever the cheerful companion, pondered, what path calls to thee in this enchanted hour? Name thy riddle, and perchance our wisdom may forge a key. Their words mingled with distant revelers, some murmuring of hidden dance halls, many invoking ancient mysteries of sleepless cities. Suddenly, a hush fell. The oracle stone flickered, and the world seemed to waver, as if Nyx herself had drawn her veil. Lamented the supplicants, sensing the grip of chaos. Yet the assembly endured. Genbaptine's optimism, Henricus's wit, and the steadfast pulse of the gathered crowd transforming the mundane street into a stage for legend, where advice became prophecy and every idle gesture the foreshadowing of trials yet to come. Beneath the unyielding gaze of the midnight heavens, where the humid breath of monsoon clung to mortal skin and the branches of the ancient banyan arched like the arms of sleeping titans, the chosen seeker emerged into the realm between shadow and torchlight. His brow, crowned by the earring of destiny, was touched by a gesture both thoughtful and ceremonial, a silent invocation to the gods of insight. The great tree watched as silent witness, and the road's sentinels, slumbering wagons and spectral chariots, lined the boulevard like the discarded reliquaries of forgotten heroes. It was here, in this liminal space, that Genbaptine of Mumbai, blessed herald, approached, voice aglow with hope. O seeker, see how the night's hush bestows counsel. Among these iron titans and tarpaulin banners, what secrets does thy heart weigh? Henricus the Wise, ever the companion, twirled a coin between nimble fingers and laughed. Dost thou ponder the price of the wandering wagon, or the worth of a moment's rest among truckers' clan? Come, let us break our fast with the nectar of chai, for even the humblest brew may bear the flavor of prophecy. Nearby, Blekdan the Bakik, his spirit ever festive, raised an invisible cup. To thee, O seeker of chariots, may the sustenance of Mumbai street bewitch thee with luck. As the seeker's gaze swept the dusky avenue, Nullion the Echo, lingering by a van's painted flank, chronicled every hesitation and every fleeting smile, knowing that even a brush of hair or the flicker of curiosity might echo in the scrolls of fate. Thus, amidst the casual churn of city night, with counsel swirling like monsoon mist and laughter warding off despair, the hero's ordeal unfolded, not with clashing swords, but with the gentle tests of patience, hunger, and choice, as the gods watched to see if wisdom or folly would guide him through the rite of the twin elements. Beneath the sapphire and amethyst vault of his sanctum, the chosen seeker reclined upon the iron cot of contemplation, maroon mantle draping his mortal frame, his gaze turned softly earthward as if listening for whispers from the roots of the world. The light of dawn's forgotten star poured in from the left, sculpting his silhouette in the style of ancient heroes, while the patchwork upon the chamber's walls shimmered with the memory of 1,000 battles endured. In this sacred hush, Genbaptine of Mumbai, blessed herald, appeared at the threshold, voice buoyant as summer rain. O seeker, thy chamber is a haven, let no sorrow enter here. May the strength of the faithful fortify thy heart. At his side, Henricus the Wise, laughter dancing in his eyes, spoke in mirth. Behold, thy mane shines wild and untamed, like the charger of a triumphant demigod. Would that thou grant it the taming balm of the gods, or leave it to prophecy's whims? As their words wove through the room, Overcall the Protector stepped into the light, shoulders square in silent promise. O seeker, let not jest nor doubt sway thee from the path. In this hour, laughter is armor and counsel a shield. Thus the assembly's voices, hopeful, teasing, steadfast, mingled in the night's thick embrace, transforming even the gentlest moment of repose into a ritual of fellowship and renewal as the world without waited for the hero's next divine step. Beneath the hush of Mumbai's sleeping heavens, within the sanctum awash in blue and purple, the very hues of creation and twilight, the chosen seeker assumed his seat upon the throne of vigil, facing the oracle stone as if addressing the pantheon itself. The chamber, humble yet radiant, glowed in the pale fire cast by a sacred window, half veiled by the parchments of old prophecies. Here the air was stilled but lively with the voices of gods and mortals entwined. Overcall the Protector, steadfast as the city's ancient iron gates, uttered encouragement from the shadows. Let not the weight of longing nor the tumult of counsel unseat thee, O seeker, for it is in solitude that resolve is sharpened. At his side, Henricus the Wise lifted laughter as a shield, remarking, See how the lamp's glow dances upon thy brow, Vikas. It is the gods themselves anointing thee anew. Heed not the calls of the river nor the jaws of jesters, but remember the faithful's charge. Then Nullion the Echo, ever watchful, chronicled each flicker of doubt and every silent vow, whispering, All omens pass, yet this hour is immortal, for the tapestry of legend is spun in quiet chambers by souls who dare to dream. Thus, as the city's night deepened and distant thunder beckoned new trials, the seeker, surrounded by invisible companions, his reflection shining in the